Kayo ha.
Session is resumed. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we now proceed to the reference of business and request that the Secretary General be directed to read the title of bills and resolutions on first reading as well as communications and committee reports.
An objection? Here is none. Same as approved. Secretary General is hereby directed to please comply.
Additional reference of business bills on first reading. House Bill number 8800 granting franchise to All Broadcast Corporation. Representative Madrona.
Legislative franchises.
House Bill number 8801 establishing and organizing the Philippine Electronic Sports Commission. Representative Revilla.
Youth and Sports Development.
House Bill number 8802 establishing and determining a community forest in Barangay Balubal, the 2nd District of Cagayan de Oro City. Representative Rodriguez.
To the Special Committee on Reforestation.
House Bill number 8803 establishing and determining a community forest in Barangay Cugman, 2nd District, Cagayan de Oro City. Representative Rodriguez.
To the same committee.
House Bill number 8804 establishing and determining a community forest in Barangay Catanico, 2nd District, Cagayan de Oro City. Representative Rodriguez.
Same committee.
House Bill number 8805 establishing determining community forest in Barangay Idhang, 2nd District, Cagayan de Oro City. Rodriguez.
Same committee.
House Bill number 8806 establishing determining community forest in Barangay Tablon, 2nd District, Cagayan de Oro City. Rodriguez.
Same committee.
House Bill number 8807 establishing determining community forest in Barangay Agusan, 2nd District, Cagayan de Oro City, Rodriguez.
Same committee.
House Bill number 8808 mandating and integrating the basic first aid and survival skills training in the curricula of all learning institutions. Representative Cabo Chan.
Basic education, higher and technical education.
House Bill number 8809 providing for the compulsory disclosure of fire safety standards and measures in campus buildings. Representative Cabo Chan.
To the same committees.
House Bill number 8810 establishing a free and accessible COVID-19 testing and vaccination program nationwide. Representative Cabo Chan.
Committee on Health.
House Bill number 8811 converting the Boracay Circumferential Road in Malay, Aklan into a national road. Representative Haresco.
Public Works and Highways.
Resolutions. House Resolution 1593 commending Pampanga 1 Electric Cooperative Incorporated for its outstanding performance as an electric
Cooperative
cooperative.
Development.
House Resolution 1594 congratulating the recipients of the Outstanding Young Men and Women of the Philippines 2020 conferred by Junior Chamber International Philippines and the Outstanding Young Men Foundation and Jerry Rojas Foundation and the Advantage Management Consulting Philippines Incorporated, DALIPE.
Youth and Sports Development.
House Bill number 1595 urging the House to the Committee on Human Rights to investigate the series of mortar shelling incidents in civilians community in killing 3 children and a pregnant woman in Maguindanao. Representative Cullamat, Zarate, Gaite, Castro, Franz, Brosas, and Elago.
Committee on Rules.
House Resolution 1596 urging the FDA to ensure the compliance of manufacturers and distributors to labeling and fair packaging requirements of Consumer Code of the Philippines and that consumers have access to accurate information as to the nutritional contents of food and food products. Representative Villarin Benitez.
Trade and Industry.
House Resolution 1597 urging and highly recommending to the DOLE, the CSC, and other government agencies the vigorous and robust conduct of Balik Trabaho e-jobs and online job fairs and similar virtual career platforms, activities geared towards assisting job seekers. Representative Villarin Benitez.
Labor Employment.
House Resolution 1598 urging the House Committees on Ecology, Health, and Sustainable Development Goals to assess the extent of the coronavirus waves are impacting the already fragile Philippine environment. Representative Villarin Benitez.
Committee on Rules.
House Resolution 1599 urging the House to the Committee on Housing and Urban Development in coordination with the DHSUD, NHA, DNR, LRA, LLDA, PCUP, and the Municipality of Taytay and other concerned national local governments, agencies, officers, and the Alliance of People's Organization in Lupang agenda to investigate the unconscionable delay in the issuance of a proclamation for housing purposes and the corresponding clearance granting titles to the residents of Lupang Arenda. Representative Aguinaldo.
To the Committee on Rules.
House Resolution 1600 urging the House to the Committee on Human Rights to investigate the death
Correct.
of 1-month-old infant separated from detainee mother in Negros Oriental. Representative Zarate, Cullamat, Gaite, Castro, Franz, Brosas, and Lago.
Same committee.
House Concurrent Resolution 12, concurring with Proclamation 1090 of the President dated February 5, 2021, entitled Granting Amnesty to all members of the MILF who have committed crimes punishable under the Revised Penal Code and Special Penal Laws in furtherance of their political beliefs. Representative Velasco, Romualdez Ferdinand, and Paduano.
Rules.
House Concurrent Resolution 13, concurring with Proclamation 1091 of the President dated February 5, 2021, entitled Granting Amnesty to members of the MNLF who have committed crimes punishable under the Revised Penal Code and Special Penal Laws in furtherance of their political beliefs. Representative Velasco, Romualdez Ferdinand, and Paduano.
Rules.
House Concurrent Resolution 14, concurring with Proclamation number 1092 of the President dated February 5, 2021, entitled Granting Amnesty to members of the Revolution Partido ng Manggagawa ng Pilipinas Revolutionary Proletarian Army, Alex Bongkayo Brigade, who have committed crimes punishable under the Revised Penal Code and Special Penal Laws in furtherance of political beliefs. Velasco, Romualdez Ferdinand, and Paduano.
Rules.
House Concurrent Resolution 15, concurring with the Proclamation 1093 of the President dated February 5, 2021, entitled Granting Amnesty to former rebels of the Communist Terrorist Group who have committed crimes punishable under the Revised Penal Code and Special Penal Laws in furtherance of their political beliefs. Representative Velasco, Romualdez Ferdinand, and Paduano.
Rules.
Communications. Report dated February 22, 2021 of the House of Representatives, Secretary General Mendoza on enrolled copies of House Bill number 1533, which were transmitted to the Office of the Presidency for His Excellency's consideration and signature.
Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, with leave of the House, I move that we open the privilege hour.
Any objection? Chair is none. Same is approved.
Mr. Speaker, I now move that the gentleman from Bayan Muna Party List, the Honorable Representative Carlos Sagana Sarate, be recognized to avail of the privilege hour.
The Honorable Sarate is hereby recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Ginoong Speaker, magandang hapon po sa ating lahat at sa ating mga kasamahan dito sa plenaryo at maging sana sa Zoom. Ginoong Speaker, mag-iisang taon nang nagdurusa ang sambayanan sa lockdown na tinaguri ang pinakamahaba sa buong mundo. Maraming Pilipino na ang nagkasakit at namatay dahil sa COVID-19. Kahapon, nasa 564,865 na ang tinamaan at nasa 12,107 naman ito ang namatay. May namumuno naman, Ginoong Speaker, sa Department of Health. Pero parang laging nahuhuli ito sa pagresponde sa mga pangangailangang pangkalusugan ng ating bayan. Maalala po natin, Ginoong Speaker, na noong March 12, 2020, noong nakaraang taon, bago po tayo mag-lockdown o mag-quarantina, sa isang pagdinig na ginanap ng Committee on Health dito sa ating kapulungan, inamin mismo ni Secretary Duque ang kanyang pagkahuli na magdeklara ng public health emergency. Kahit na meron siyang kapangyarihan ayon sa ating mga existing laws. Siningil na rin natin siya tungkol dito. Pero Mr. Speaker, tila hindi nagiging scientific ang ating kalihim at hindi natuto sa kanyang pagkakamali. Mula sa napakahuli o late na declaration ng public health emergency hanggang sa usapin ng mass testing at ngayon nga kahit sa issue ng ating bakuna. Nahuhuli pa rin ang Pilipinas. Hanggang ngayon wala pa ring free mass testing kahit napagtanto na ni Pangulong Duterte noong Disyembre na mahalaga at dapat palang isinasagawa ito. Sa kabila ng sapat na pondong pambili ng bakuna, may mga lokal pang pamahalaan or LGUs tayo na nagnanais na bumili ng bakuna para sa sarili nilang nasasakupan. Ano po ang dahilan nito? Ganun pa rin, dahil na naman sa pagiging huli ng ating pambansang pamahalaan. Pero sa usaping procurement ng bakuna, naiiba tayo, Mr. Chair. Dahil katangi-tangi ang Pilipinas sa buong mundo na mayroong tripartite system o multi-party system sa pagbili ng bakuna laban sa COVID-19. Hindi ito innovation, kundi sa katotohanan, ito ay isang kahihiyan para sa ating pamahalaan. Dahil nga nahuhuli ang ating pamahalaan sa usapin ng bakuna, napipilitan ang mga local government units at ang mga pribadong sektor na akuin ang responsibilidad at mag-ambag para sa pambansang pamahalaan, lalong-lalo na sa Department of Health. Hanggang ngayon, Mr. Chair, wala pang sa katotohanan habang tayo ay nagpupulong ngayong araw dito, wala pang napirmahang kontrata ang national government para sa supply ng COVID-19 vaccines. Samantalang ang mga lokal na mga pamahalaan at pribadong sektor ay mayroon na. Biro nga ng marami, baka naman kasi may hinihintay hindi vaccine kundi kickbacks. Sa usapin ng buhay at kalusugan ng ating mamamayan, hindi hashtag laging handa PH ang DOH. Ang lumalabas, naging hashtag laging late. Nakapaglaan na tayo, Ginoong Speaker, ng sapat na pondo at napakalaki na ng papasaning utang ng taong bayan para dito sa COVID-19. Pero narito pa rin tayo. Nakatunganga, nagtatanong kung kailan ba talaga darating ang bakuna, kung kailan ba gagalaw si Kalihim Duque. Mabuti pa, Ginoong Speaker, ang mga VIPs tulad ng Presidential Security Group ni Moon Tulfo at iba pang mga opisyal ng gobyerno at maging ang mga POGO workers dahil sila ay nabakunahan na. Dumagdag pa, Ginoong Speaker, sa ating pangamba, sa panggamba ng mamamayan, ang tila pagkakaroon ng pinapaborang brand ng bakuna. Nakabahala ang pagbibigay ng Limited Emergency Use Authority ng Food and Drugs Administration sa Sinovac dahil sa mababang 50.4% efficacy rate base sa clinical trials nito sa Brazil. Hindi nirekomenda ng FDA ang paggamit ng Sinovac sa health workers at sa ating mga elderly people na siyang priority dapat sa pagbabakuna. Bakit ka ba mistulang nakakasentro, Ginoong Speaker, sa Sinovac ang programa ng pagbabakuna ng kasalukuyang administrasyon? Sinong mga VIPs na naman ang makikinabang sa darating na bakuna? Yun ang mga katanungan sa ating mga isipan ng ating mga kababayan sa kasalukuyan. Sa kasagsagan ng mga lockdown, Mr. Speaker, maraming ikinulong, ibinilad sa araw at iba pang nilapastangan ng kanilang karapatang pantao dahil lang sa paglabag sa quarantine na parabang yun ang sagot para malabanan ng COVID-19. Pero kung naging scientific, responsibly, competent at efficient lang sana ang ating mga inaasahang mga opisyal, siguro ay hindi rin tayo nahuhuli sa akma, sapat at maagap na solusyong medikal laban sa pandemya ng COVID-19. Simula pa lamang nung nakaraang taon, Ginoong Speaker, pinananawagan na ng kinatawang ito ng Bayang Muna at ng Makabayan Black at marami pa nating kasamahan na dapat magpatupad na ng mga solusyong medikal bilang tugon sa sa pandemyang ito. Ang mga pulisiya ay dapat nakabatay sa siyensya at interes ng mamamayan at hindi batay sa mga pansariling interes tulad ng tubo at kita. Hindi deserve, Ginoong Speaker, ng taong bayan ang late na serbisyo mula sa DOH. Dapat ito ang nangunguna sa pagprotekta sa kalusugan ng mga Pilipino. Bawat minuto ay mahalaga sa usapin ng buhay at kalusugan ng ating mamamayan. At bilang panghuli, Ginoong Speaker, kung hindi kayang gampanan ni Kalihim Duque ang maagap na pagtugon sa pangkalusugang pangangailangan ng mamamayan, dapat lang sigurong siya ay palitan na ng may kapabilidad at kakayahan. Huwag na nating hintayin pa na mas dumami pa ang buhay na mawala dahil sa kapabayaan ng ating pamahalaan. Hindi pa huli para palitan si Secretary Duque ng mas scientific, responsible at competent na opisyal para pangunahan ng Department of Health. Maraming salamat po, Ginoong Speaker.
Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, under the calendar of unfinished business, I move that we resume consideration of House Bill number RBH2 under Committee Report number 735 and that the Secretary General be directed to read the title of the bill.
Speech.
Mr. Speaker, I withdraw my previous motion and instead I move that the privileged speech of the Honorable Zarate be referred to the Committee on Rules for appropriate action. So move, Mr. Speaker.
An objection? There is none. Same is approved.
Mr. Speaker, I move that the period of the privileged hour be closed.
An objection? There is none. Same is approved.
Mr. Speaker, under the calendar of business, I move that we resume consideration of House Bill number RBH2 under Committee Report number 735 and that the Secretary General be directed to read the title of the bill. So move, Mr. Speaker.
An objection? There is none. Same is approved. Secretary General says by directed to please comply.
RBH2, resolution of both houses proposing amendments to certain economic provisions of the 1987 Constitution of the Republic of the Philippines, particularly on Articles 2, 14, and 16.
Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, the parliamentary status of RBH2 is that we are in the period of sponsorship and debate, and I move that we recognize the Honorable Chairman of the Committee on Constitutional Amendments, the representative from Ako Bicol Party List, the Honorable Alfredo A. Garbin. So move, Mr. Speaker.
An objection? There is none. Same is approved. The Chairman of the Sponsoring Committee, the Honorable Garbin, is hereby recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Mr. Speaker, I move for a few minutes suspension.
Session suspended. Okay na ba? Session is resumed. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we suspend consideration of RBH 2. So move, Mr. Speaker.
Any objection? Chair is none. Same is approved.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we suspend session.
Session is suspended. Session is resumed. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, under the calendar of business of the day, I move that we consider House Bill number 8741, containing Committee Report number 755, and that the Secretary General be directed to read the title of the bill. So move, Mr. Speaker.
Any objection? Chair is none. Same is approved, and the Secretary General is hereby directed to please comply.
House Bill 8741, an act renewing for another 25 years the franchise granted to Franciscan Broadcasting Corporation under Republic Act Number 8736, entitled An Act Granting the Franciscan Broadcasting Corporation a franchise to construct, install, establish, operate, and maintain radio broadcasting station anywhere in the Philippines, wherever frequencies and/or channels are still available for radio broadcasting.
Mr. Speaker, I move that the Honorable Representative from the 2nd District of Negros Oriental, the Honorable Manuel T. Sagarbarria, be recognized to sponsor the measure. So move, Mr. Speaker.
In this room, the Honorable Sagarbarria is hereby recognized to sponsor the measure.
Mr. Speaker, thank you very much. Good afternoon to my colleagues. and everyone in plenary. Good afternoon once again. Mr. Speaker, I would like to give my explanatory note on House Bill 8741. This bill seeks the renewal of the legislative franchise granted to Franciscan Broadcasting Corporation under RA Republic Act 8736, which was passed into law on July 26, 1997. The Franciscan Broadcasting Corporation, also known as DYWC, which stands for Do Your Work for Christ, 801 AM kilohertz, is a Filipino-owned and managed media broadcasting company. Its primary purpose is to use the word of the church as an instrument to evangelize, communicate, and serve the people of Negros Oriental through broadcasting and technology. Its audience hails from the different areas of Negros Oriental, northwestern Cebu, Siquijor Island, and northern Mindanao. As years pass by, DYWC 801 AM kilohertz stands true to its mission withstanding the changing times. The radio station has been home to communities seeking relevant information and entertainment. It has been catering to the needs and cries of the grassroots through evangelization and accessible communication ever since its establishment. Among the greatest and distinct achievements are the following: provide an active dialogue for its listeners on national and local issues, strengthen the cultural background of the people, assisted government agencies in information dissemination, provided entertainment, and above all, brought the Christian message into the homes of its listeners. With the goal to develop into a more inclusive and accessible broadcasting station, the Franciscan Broadcasting Corporation established a relay station DYWC Happy FM 107 to reach rural and far-flung communities in the province of Negros Oriental. Indeed, it has recognized that broadcasting contributes to the overall development of the people and their communities through social awareness and education. In the spirit of sincere service to the people, most especially to the vulnerable and marginalized, and promotion to greater social awareness and responsibility, DYWC 801 AM kilohertz will continuously improve and develop its radio station through meaningful broadcasting while upholding its mission and meaning of DYWC. Do your work for Christ. From the foregoing, it is earnestly sought that this bill be immediately approved. Mr. Speaker, I would like to move that my explanatory note be my sponsorship bill. Speech.
An objection? Chair stands. Same is approved.
Mr. Speaker, since there are no other interpellators on the measure, I move that we terminate the period of sponsorship and debate. So move, Mr. Speaker.
An objection? There being none, same is approved.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we open the period of amendments. So move, Mr. Speaker.
An objection? None? Approved.
Mr. Speaker, there being no committee amendments, I move that we now proceed to consider the individual amendments, if any. So move, Mr. Speaker.
An objection? There being none, same is approved.
Mr. Speaker, there being no member who wishes to introduce individual amendments, I move that we close the period of individual amendments.
An objection? None? Approved.
Mr. Speaker, there being no other individual amendments, I move that we close the period of amendments.
There's any objection? None? Approved.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we vote on second reading House Bill number
8741. 8741.
8741. So move, Mr. Speaker.
An objection? There is none. As many as are in favor, please say aye. Those against, say nay. The ayes have it.
Mr. Speaker, a few minutes of suspension.
Suspension.
Session suspended. Nagkakaintindihan na. Jep. Session is resumed.
Mr.
Majority
Speaker,
Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we include additional co-authors to House Bill numbers 8698, 8736, 8737, 8741, and 7174 as contained in the list to be submitted by the Committee on Rules.
Any objection? There be none. Same is approved.
Mr. Speaker, we are in receipt of a message from the Senate informing the House that the Senate passed with amendments House Bill number 5744, entitled An Act Establishing a Separate Schools Division Office in the City of Canlaon, Province of Negros Oriental, amending for the purpose Section 86 of Republic Act number 3445, entitled An Act Creating the City of Canlaon. Mr. Speaker, we have been advised that the Committee on Basic Education and Culture sponsor the said House Bill, as well as the author thereof, has no objections to the amendments introduced thereto by the Senate. In accordance with our rules, I move that we concur with the Senate amendments to House Bill number 5744.
Any objection? There being none, same is approved.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we designate the following members to the Bicameral Conference Committee on the disagreeing provisions of House Bill number 1466 and Senate Bill number 1513, integrating labor education into the social science subjects in the higher education curriculum, namely Representative Mark O. Go, Representative Enrico A. Pineda, Representative Rufus B. Rodriguez, Representative Joy Myra S. Tambunting, and Representative Irene Gay F. Saulog. So move, Mr. Speaker.
Any objection? There being none, same is approved. Yan na. Majority Leader.
Under the calendar of business for the day, I move that we consider House Bill number 8698, contained in Committee Report number 748, and that the Secretary General be directed to read the title of the bill. So move, Mr. Speaker.
An objection? Chair is none. Same is approved. Secretary General, please comply.
House Bill 8698, an act providing for the revised warehouse receipt law of the Philippines.
Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, with the permission and authority from the sponsoring committee, I move that we recognize Honorable Amihilda Sangkopan to sponsor the said measure. So move, Mr. Speaker.
Any objection? Chair is none. Same is approved. The Honorable Sangkopan is hereby recognized.
Yes, Mr. Speaker, I move to introduce the explanatory note of House Bill 8698 as the sponsorship speech for this bill. I so move.
Any objection? Chair is none. Same is approved.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we suspend consideration of House Bill number 8698. So move, Mr. Speaker.
Any objection? Chair is none. Same is approved.
Mr. Speaker, I move to adjourn until Monday, March 1st, 3 p.m. in the afternoon.
Any objection? Chair is none. Session is adjourned until 3 o'clock, Monday, March 1, 2021. Inadjourn na ninong mo eh. Galit sa mo. Galit. Itong restroom na to. Ang dami, oh. Kaya